Hey everyone, Nikon here from the Hyperactive Bookworm, here to do February's bookshelf, February's wrap up, basically the books I've read in February, which is fabulous. I read 10 books in February. I thought that was pretty impressive. And then of course I have my beautiful book journal. Have I filled out February? No. Why no, of course I haven't. That would be way too organized for my liking. However, I have got the 10 books I've read, and I totally want to talk about them. All right. Now, the first book I read is 1,000 Mornings by Mary Oliver. Poetry. I have found my love for poetry. I have redefined the relationship. I am so freaking excited. I did a full review of this, so I won't go too much into them. There's 3 books this month that I have done full reviews of. I'll put the links down in the comments for those specific reviews. I won't go too much into them in this video, but I can't not mention them, of course. So Mary Oliver, I finally found a poet I love and I adore her. And as we speak, I have another one of her books in transit. Hopefully it will arrive soon. All right. Now, the next book I read, like the second paperback book of the month, The Terrorlight Collection by Pamela Jeffs. Now, I haven't done a video of this yet, but I really do want to do a video of this. This is such a great collection. Now, Pamela Jeffs, this is her 4th collection of short stories. She is like the master, the absolute master of short stories. Her genre is like a weird Western, and this collection has 10 stories, and I think 9 of them all feature strong female main characters, and it is so delicious and delightful. These are, honestly, for me, the best of her short stories. I have all of her collections and I love them all. I've not been disappointed in one of them, but this is just a perfect snapshot of the amazing talent that this woman has. Now, in this one, I have 4 favorite stories. One is Six Gun Reckoning, which, hello, female Van Helsing. Oh yes. Oh yes. Okay. And then we have 50 Mile Bone Beach. Oh my God. It was short but gorgeous in the derelict nature of it. It's an apocalyptic world. We have Rusted Wings, which, I mean, honestly, Metal Dragon. What more do I need to say? And then Terrorlight, which it's just, this whole world is painted in just a sentence. It's divine and cruel and absolutely wonderful. So I highly recommend checking out Pamela Jeffs. This collection is fabulous, but to get a full grasp of what she's capable of, she has collections out there and they are amazing. All right, now the next book I actually listened to, and it was Argillum, First Dawn by J.S. Fields. Now, the narrator was Lynn Norris. She did a really great job. I did, however, have to speed it up a bit just to get through the story. She was a bit slow of narration for what I'm used to, but she did a brilliant job of it. I really loved this. It was a fabulous sci-fi adventure. The world building and the characters, the descriptions were wonderful. I did struggle a little bit with some of the multitude of characters and how they all intersected. I did get a bit confused. I'm not sure if that's because I was listening to it, whether I would still be confused if I actually eyeball read it. I am really looking forward to the next book in this series though. So it is a series and I am looking forward to trying that. Now, the next one I listened to again, and that was Desolation Point by Kari Hunter. Like, seriously, I love this woman's writing. I love that it's sapphic, but it's crime stories, and they're just so fast-paced and wonderful. And the narrator for Kari Hunter's books, she's fabulous. It's Nicola Victoria Vinson. She is a brilliant narrator. I love her accent. I love the authenticity. I absolutely loved this book, and it's so hard to say that sometimes with the horrific nature of the events, the situation. The anxiety was just so beautifully built and then dropped and then built and then dropped and then built, and it was intense and wonderful, and then it was intersected with all this beautiful description, and I literally had to stay up till stupid o'clock to get to the end of it because I couldn't stop listening to this book. Now, the next book, speaking of dark, the next book I read is actually an ARC book, and it's called A Knife and a Blade by Adelaide Blake. Wow. Okay, this is dark fantasy, which that's totally my jam. However, it's also I have never read before, so I did go into reading this book a little nervous. Let me tell you, didn't matter. The characters were amazing. They were well developed. The story was twisty and dark, and oh my God, the darkness in this, the themes and what was implied. Yeah, they were dark. So you just definitely don't go into this book for lightheartedness. The characters, the way they reveal themselves in their actions and their sulking and their strolling, and the mystery and intrigue is just beautifully balanced with this snarky humor and this brilliant, absolutely brilliant banter. So I absolutely love it. The description and flow, mwah, delicious. I can't wait for the next one to come out. Yes, because it is a duology, I believe. Perhaps it is a series. I'll have to find that out. But A Knife and a Blade will be coming out, I believe, in the next few months. So definitely check it out. Adelaide Blake, definitely an author to be following. All right. The next book is one that's very, very close to my heart. It is not a romance. KJ, I'm pointing it out there first. The Forever and the Now. It is the most epic, beautiful love story that will rip your heart out, tear you to shreds, and you'll love it. It's the first book I've ever read that I've enjoyed sobbing my heart out. It was a therapy all on its own. It was beautiful and wonderful. I've done a full review of this book. I've put the link down in the comments so that you can go check it out as well. All right. I won't go too much into that, though I could spend hours talking about the beauty of that book. Is Gold by E.J. Noyes. Now, for my newsletter, I have actually embarked on yet another reading challenge for this year. I think that's like the 4th reading challenge I'm up to now. I don't even know. And I have agreed to read 12 books recommended to me by my readers. Gold is the first book I have read off that list, and I'm so glad I've read it. I've actually listened to it. It was narrated by the remarkably brilliant Abby Craden, by E.J. Noyes. It is an amazing book. It hasn't quite topped or knocked off Alone or Reaping the Benefits as my favorite E.J. Noyes books, but it's pretty close up there because it is such an absolute beautiful second chance at life story. It is about a pro skier who's no longer pro. She was in the Olympics. Now she jumps around ski resorts and trains. And it's about her life and her really coming to terms with what's happened with her. It's such a great story to listen to. It is a single point of view, which, you know me, I love single point of view. I just think they're so much more intriguing. So often they give me more by giving me less. Isn't that ironic? Anyway, but I love the character development throughout this book. It is so wonderful and intense, and I highly recommend this book. It is beautiful. All right, now the next one I listened to as well, by the delicious and delectable Angela Dorr. It was narrated by. This was The Awkward Truth by Lee Winter. Oh my God, been waiting for this for forever. So The Brutal Truth is just an absolutely amazing Lee Winter book that I love and adore, and I've mentioned several times. This is the sidequel, icy little bitchy side character, and this is her story, and it was fabulous. It punched me in the guts in all the right ways. Lee Winter is just amazing. She writes amazing ice queens, amazing lesbians, but overall she just writes amazing human beings. And that's what I love so much about her writing. It's just fabulous. And now The Awkward Truth was just hilarious and wonderful and raw. And I mean, I laughed so hard during just Felicity's attitude is just hilarious. I mean, she's always amused me, but now she's got so much more layers that you kind of knew had to be there. But now we get to actually see them, and Cooper is just fabulous. Like, I didn't know what to expect. I tried my best not to learn too much about this book before going in, because I already knew who Felicity was, but Cooper was not what I expected. She was so much more and so absolutely fabulous. I also, it was so nice to see Elena. Oh yeah. Elena's little cameos in there. And oh my God, Rosalind. Amazing. So cool. A brilliant character, and I adore her, and I kind of want to learn more about her as well, because that's what Lee Winter does. She makes all of her characters so well-rounded and intense that you want to know about all of them. Boom. Okay, the next one is my first Lucy Bexley book, Must Love Silence. This was so good. I also listened to this, narrated by Abby Craden. It was just, this book was amazing. I didn't realize it would touch on so many hard topics, but even when you're reading it, you're not always consciously aware of just how hard the topics are that are being addressed, because it's just balanced with such amazing characterizations, and oh my God, the humor is delightful. And the writing, it was poetic and light, which balanced with these deeper, darker ideas and themes. My anxiety hit a few times in there, but at the right points. They were supposed to. And I mean, topic of addiction and mental health, huge parts of these books, and it was still one of the most amazing books I've read. It didn't feel dark. It was just so perfectly balanced, and I really like Lucy Bexley's writing, so I'm really interested to read more of hers. All right, now the last book I've read, I've also done a full review of, so I'll just touch on this, but it is Girl Island by Kate Castle. This was awesome. I don't actually read a lot of young adult fiction, and then young adult sapphic fiction. I know there's a lot out there, but this one is not like any that I've really seen before. It was basically Mean Girls meets Lord of the Flies, and it was intense and wonderful, and the setup of the main character is just beautiful, and the Mean Girls, man, I recognized them in just simple few sentences, and you knew exactly what they were like, these 17-year-olds, and it was fabulous. And I really, really love the way Kate brought in a second point of view. But it was definitely worth reading. I really enjoyed it. So that's the 10 books I read this month. I'm looking to try and get a few more read next month. Hopefully do a few more reviews. I am also hoping to do a buddy read in March. But we'll see how that goes. The world is crazy. Let's try and keep some happy, positive excitement into it. And thanks y'all for watching.